Christian Witness here, and it's time again to look at Psalm 23 and our studying. And I just wanted to say, to look at verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, there's nothing I lack. And go into verse 2 as well. Let me get my glasses, hold on. He lets me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. And going into verse 3, he renews my life. He leads me along the right path for his name's sake. And leading into verse 4, even when I go through the darkest valley, I fear no danger, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And I wanted to kind of reflect a little bit on it because we just did an enrichment on how God makes us new creations. He changes us. And I think you're that new creation, and you have moments like, like I was talking about in the previous video, that I was a powder back in the day and throw pity parties, that I really don't do that anymore. That's not a part of my life, and it's not normal. It used to be normal. And it's like now it makes me appreciate the Lord, because in those valleys that I was in, being a powder, throwing pity parties, and I'm not doing that now. I really do feel like the relationship with the Lord, because the Lord is my shepherd, that's relationship. And there's nothing I lack, supply, that you really do get to that point where it's enough. Not saying you're not open to more blessings from God. It's just saying you don't have that unsatisfying feeling like the Grand Canyon. I used to feel that way. That, I just felt like I was in lack. And so I just feel like as a sheep being led like through the valleys, let's say. And it's like, going around and around a mountain to get to the top. It's like, you're kind of in a valley and the refreshment's up here. And it just makes you feel like you can trust him because you're learning a lot of lessons. Like, realize, and I haven't thought about it in a long time, about, I used to have these pity parties, and I used to be a powder, and I'm not that anymore. And so it just makes me thank God he got me out of that. So I couldn't help but say, well, bring it back to Psalm 23, definitely, is that he supplies our needs, and those are part of our needs. Who likes to feel those negative thoughts or those negative feelings? Even if circumstances dictate it didn't go favorably for you, you don't have to dwell in that. You don't have to live there, so to speak. And so I just feel like, you don't have to fear going through things or feeling rejected or something like that, or failing at something, like it didn't quite work out like you were hoping it would. And like, let's say you were trying for that job, or you were trying to get into a certain school, and it did, you didn't get it. It's like you can trust God in spite of circumstances, and God is the way maker. And you'd be amazed that I remember, I'm not going to say what it was, but I had wanted to go into a certain field, and it didn't happen. And I'm not going to say what it was. I just don't think it's necessary. But what happened was that, like, maybe that God was telling me, I do remember feeling that he was telling me in my heart, that he was telling me that this was my will, that it wasn't his. And so I wind up not going in that direction. And to this day, I am so glad I did not. And, so God knows best. And, I mean, I tried. I was on that path for a few years to try to go in that field. I wanted it so bad. And it didn't work out at all. And so when I yielded to God's will and I let it go, I just didn't even try anymore to go in that direction or work on my life to go in that direction anymore, that it just, when I accepted it and moved on, looking back, I was glad I didn't go in that field. I'm glad I didn't go in that direction. I don't think it would have been a good fit for me at all. And so it just makes me think of these things when you're looking at scriptures in your life, not just the characters in the Bible. What they go through is powerful too. But when you still have those experiences in your own life, it just makes you appreciative. Like, yes, the Lord is my shepherd. And there is nothing I lack. And He leads me down the right path. Wow. How true it is when you really sit down and you start thinking about things. So I just wanted to say that in today's reflection on Psalm 23. Our study, and that it just means so much. Just little things like that is pretty big and powerful. Until the next one, Christian Witness out. Have a great day.